My name is Dashamir Hoxha and I'm a computer engineer from Albania. In this workshop we'll see how to use the WireGuard VPN with the help of a Docker container. More details about the steps that are described in this presentation can be seen in this blog using WireGuard VPN at dashhoxha.fs.al. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I will try to answer them by the end of the presentation. WireGuard is a simple, fast, and modern VPN that utilizes state-of-the-art cryptography. It is quite flexible and can be used in many situations. It has some very nice features, and you can learn more about it at its own web page. We will install a WireGuard server with Docker and Docker scripts. Installing Docker is easy. It is done in the usual way. Installing Docker scripts, we install first its dependencies, git, make, and for, and then we clone the GitLab repo. In this directory, opt Docker scripts ds. Then from this directory, we run make install. Then to install WireGuard container, we run these commands: ds pull WireGuard, ds init WireGuard at WireGuard. We go to the directory var ds WireGuard. We may modify settings and then ds make. While we modify the settings, we can see there these options: rooted networks, DNS servers, allow network internet access, client to client, and keep alive period. Rooted networks are the networks that the client will route through the WireGuard interface. In this case, all the routes go through the WireGuard interface, since it is 0.0.0.0/0. DNS servers, these are some default values, but you can set your preferred DNS servers here. Allow internet access, yes. In this case, we want the clients to access the internet through the WireGuard server. So the WireGuard server is behaving like a NAT server for the clients, providing them internet access. Client to client, no. We don't want the clients to ping or to access each other. Keep alive period, 0. No keep alive packages will be sent by WireGuard. Then after installing the server, we can use it like this. First we create configuration for each client. For example, for client 1 with this IP, for client 2 with this IP, ds client add, client 1, client 2, etc. Then we need to share the client configurations, and to share them we use the command ds share. There are several 2 or 3 methods to share the client configuration. In this case we are using www, so that the client can download the configuration file with a command like this. Then on the client side, we need to install WireGuard itself, and then we can test the configuration with this command, WireGuard quick up, client configuration. This command curl ifconfig.co shows us the public IP, and in this case it should show the public IP of the VPN server. And then we shut it down, WireGuard quick down, client configuration. And then to make a configuration of the VPN connection permanent, we copy the configuration to directory etc WireGuard, then enable a service, and then start this service. Some cases where this WireGuard server can be used are this one: securing connections to the internet, creating a virtual private LAN, routing between remote private LANs, and accessing clients from a cloud server. Let's see them one by one. Secure connection to the internet. In this case, we have a laptop or a smartphone, and we access the internet, for example, in a public Wi-Fi hotspot, and To make the connection to the internet secure, we use the VPN tunnel, so that the hackers cannot see our communication to the internet. Virtual private LAN. In this case, there are clients 1, 2, and 3. They don't have a public IP, but we want them to communicate with each other as if they are in a private LAN. And each of these clients can create a tunnel with the WireGuard server, and through this tunnel they can communicate with each other securely. The settings in this case are like this. This is the network of the private LAN. Allow internet access? No, because we don't want the clients to access the internet through the WireGuard server. They access the internet through the default gateway that they have. Client to client, yes, because we want the clients to communicate with each other in this case. And keep alive period, we set a value for keep alive period, because we don't want the connection between the client and server to expire. Because if the connection between client 1 and server expires, then the client 2 cannot access client 1. The third use case, routing between remote private LANs. This case is similar to the previous one, in the sense that client 1 and client 2 can communicate securely with each other through the WireGuard server, but in this case also the other clients in the respective LANs can also communicate with each other. In this case, we have to set routing. For example, if client 1 wants to communicate with client 5, then it should route through client 1. So the request will go from client 1 to from client 3 to client 1, and then to the server, and then to client 2, and then to client 5. Use case 4, accessing clients from a cloud server. Since the WireGuard server is in a Docker container, we can install another Docker container in the same Docker virtual LAN, and we want from this Docker container to access the WireGuard clients. And also the WireGuard clients to access the server, the Docker server. This is an example that explains the last use case. In this example, we have a Guacamole server somewhere on the cloud. The students access the Guacamole server, and then the Guacamole server can access computers in school network using a WireGuard VPN tunnel. And more details about implementing such a use case can be seen in this blog, Accessing Computer Labs Remotely. First of all, we need to install Docker. I've already installed Docker. We also need to install on the server Docker scripts. First we install the dependencies. Then we clone the repo from GitLab. Docker scripts ds. We want to clone it on opt Docker scripts ds. Then we go to this directory that we just cloned the script, and type make install. And we have installed Docker scripts. Now we are going to install the WireGuard container itself. We get the scripts for the WireGuard, dspool WireGuard, we and here they are. We initialize the directory for the container, ds init wireguard at wireguard. We go to the directory that we just initialized, which is this one here. Here we see the settings. The default settings are okay for the test that we are going to do, so we don't have to change anything, and then we type ds-make to make the container. Now that we installed the WireGuard container, we need to create client configurations, and we do it with ds-client add client name, and then IP. Let's create a second client. With the command ds-client ls, we can see the list of clients, but we can also see them on the directory clients. These are the configuration files for the clients. To transfer these configuration files to the clients, we can use the command ds-share. Now we can send to the client this command so that he can download the configuration from this URL. I'm copying it. Let's go to the client. Downloaded the configuration. To test the VPN connection through this configuration, we use WireGuard quick app and then the configuration file curl config. This is the IP of the VPN server. So we are accessing the internet through the VPN server. Let's shut it down. And let's check again the public IP. Now it is our public IP, not that of the VPN. It is a different one. To make the configuration permanent, we copy this configuration file to the WireGuard configuration directory, and then we set up a service, enable a service, system control, enable WireGuard quick add client 1, and then we start it. Let's check the public IP. It is the IP of the VPN server. Let's stop it. Check again the public IP. It is a different one. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for your attention.